Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, it's another bitterly cold morning across the Commonwealth. And if you have to be outside today, make sure you bundle up.
Some women in Lexington doing their part to make sure those who are homeless can stay warm.
And we are certainly dealing with some very cold temperatures out there right now, hovering around the single digits. A few of us are already there. We've got another system we're going to track that's going to bring snow. So all of winter is coming together. We'll track it coming up.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you on this Tuesday. I'm Rebecca Smith.
And I'm Bill Bryan, and we're glad you're with us on WKYT. You do remember the 70-degree Christmas, right? Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking back to that, thinking it's gonna happen next week, right, Jim? Hopefully.
Now you've got me thinking about it too.
Changes have come. It's the first alert severe weather day.
Those were nice days, and now we've completely flipped to the opposite end of all of that, with temperatures hovering around single digits this morning. Wind chill readings below that in many areas. We've had some sub-zero readings showing up this morning as well. That and even some snow shower activity. Speaking of snow, winter weather advisory starts for us tomorrow morning. The reason we're talking about it right now is because this could be a big deal for most of the area, with at least a few inches possible, up to 1 to 3 inches in most locations, and that is enough to cause all kinds of problems as we go into your Wednesday. This morning, even some light snow showing up, especially to our south and east, and a little bit to our west as well. We're in a mode in radar where we had to tone it into a very high sensitivity level so we could even see the snow, because it's so light, so fine. If you've been out there and you've experienced any of this snow, then you know it's very fine in nature, because the air is so cold and pretty dry as well. It makes the flakes even smaller, but enough to cause a few problems and some slick spots out there this morning, and we'll continue to track those chances and the bigger system coming up for you in just a little bit, guys.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
So today is the day to make sure you cover up as much skin as possible, especially when you're outside, and your head as well. Make sure you have plenty of layers on.
Very good idea. The cold is affecting schools across the area this morning as well. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us live with the latest on closings and delays. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Yeah, it is brutally cold out here. School leaders this morning now trying to figure out if it is too cold to start school on time this morning. That's still the case here in Fayette County, where they are starting to crank up their school buses. No word yet if Fayette County will still operate on a normal schedule, but we are already starting to see a number of school closings and delays come in for some of the counties around central Kentucky here. Number of closures already stacking up in parts of southern and eastern Kentucky this morning. Those counties including Wolfe County, Magoffin, Knox, and Nicholas County. We're also seeing a number of 2-hour delays this morning in Jessamine County, Clark County, Bourbon, Bath, and Breathitt counties as well. Now, these dangerously cold temperatures that we dealt with yesterday are still hanging around. As we just heard Jim mention just a moment ago, we have temperatures flirting with the single digits this morning. Of course, wind chills much lower than that. And in these bitterly cold temperatures, frostbite can happen in just a matter of minutes. So school leaders this morning still trying to figure out in some counties, including Fayette County, if it is just too cold to have children standing out on bus stops this morning. Now, as delays and closures continue to come in this morning, of course, we will keep a close eye on them this morning. We'll keep you updated. If you would like to take a look at that full list for yourself, of course, you can always find that on our website on the closings tab on WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. Try to stay warm out there. Well, when the temperatures drop below freezing, not everyone gets a day off. For some folks in Lexington, their job involves braving the cold. They have to find ways to stay warm while they work. Meals on Wheels drivers are told to bundle up while they make their rounds in the city. The program tells us their list of homebound clients is growing, and checking on them right now is critical.
It's very, very important that my drivers are able to show up and deliver these meals, because they depend on them all throughout the week.
Meals on Wheels tells us they need drivers during cold weather months. If you'd like to volunteer for the program, go to our website, WKYT.com, to find out how.
More people in the community are stepping up to help others stay warm in this tough weather. Some women have left scarves for the homeless in Lexington's Phoenix Park. They say anyone who needs one can take one. Doctors at UK Hospital say programs like this can save lives because it's important to cover as much of your body as possible when you're outside.
If you have any exposed skin that's not covered by a hat or a scarf or gloves, you're not only going to be at risk for hypothermia, but you can get frostbite, and you can even get frozen to the point that you lose fingers or toes.
At last check, doctors said they have not seen any patients in the UK hospital emergency room for weather-related illnesses. Needle exchange programs are already in place here in Lexington and in Louisville.
Yeah, and in Jessamine County, they're working towards getting a program there as well. WKYT's Mike Byer joins us from the newsroom with details.
Final step towards getting approval for the syringe exchange program can happen tonight when the Jessamine County Fiscal Court meets. This after last week when the City Commission voted 4-1 in favor of a resolution for the creation of the program. It's also been approved by the Jessamine County Board of Health. The program would be open one afternoon a week and would aim to build trust with addicted individuals, also offering them addiction counseling. The Jessamine Journal says the program could grow to roughly 200 participants. Public Health Director hopes the city can receive funding through the heroin bill for the program. Now, Nicholasville would be the fourth in the state to adopt a syringe exchange. Programs already exist in Lexington, Louisville, and Pendleton County. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thanks, Mike. Cold temperatures didn't stop thousands of people from honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. yesterday with a march in downtown Lexington. Organizers say in the 40-year history of the march, they've never canceled it because of the cold. Following yesterday's march, actor and activist Danny Glover spoke at a commemorative program at Heritage Hall.
Dr. King was here today with us. He would be out there talking about mass incarceration. He'd be out here talking about climate change and global warming. He'd be talking about every main issue. He'd be out there with these young people.
Danny Glover has served as a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Development Program. He's currently a UNICEF ambassador.
Time this morning is coming up on 5:07 on WKYT, and a Central Kentucky pastor is scheduled to meet with Pope Francis next month. Father Jim Sitchko, the pastor at St. Mark Catholic Church in Richmond, is one of the Pope's missionaries of mercy this year. Next month, he will travel to Rome with other missionaries. They'll all have personal meetings with the Pope and be formally commissioned as missionaries of mercy. Our time this morning, again, 5:07. Great to have you along. It is cold out there this morning. Keep that in mind as you prepare for your day ahead. And more news is coming up.
It's amazing what people can do when they come together with one goal in mind. In Rhode Island, that was to make a little boy's dream come true. That story ahead on WKYT this morning.
And we're going to track some cold and snow. All of it coming together over the next couple of days here. I'll have the latest track in just a few minutes. Cold is already here. Now it's going to be joined by some snow. As a matter of fact, tracking a little bit of snow out there this morning, but it's not the big deal that's going to be coming our way during the day tomorrow. It gets a little more active around here. And once that gets here, it's just going to open the door and more systems are just come rolling at us. One toward the end of the week, maybe one early next week. It's action packed across the board. Temperatures right now running near the single digits in a lot of spots. We're in the low teens, 11, 10, and 11, 10, and 12. There you go. I see one out toward Louisville coming in 12. But here in Lexington, we're at 11 degrees. But when you factor in that little bit of a breeze that's been showing up in many locations out there, it feels a whole lot worse. You find yourself in the low single digits and even some negative territory out there this morning, like Monticello and up toward Covington. And everybody else just covering very close to it. And when the wind isn't showing up, which does happen from time to time, it keeps you right around what your actual air temperature is. Still been tracking a little bit of light snow across parts of southeastern Kentucky, even some here in Lexington. When I got out this morning, had some snow on the car, just a little bit, not a big deal, but just enough to let you know that there's plenty of activity going on in the atmosphere, and it gets a little more active out in eastern Kentucky as well. And we all get more active into the day tomorrow as we're tracking a winter weather advisory for everybody highlighted here in blue. And let me tell you what, even this little corner of Kentucky will likely get in on some snow as well with the way this system is coming together. It's just the Weather Service office out in Charleston not issuing the advisory yet. I'm sure they'll jump on eventually here. But you can see even down to Tennessee covered up with that. Even a winter storm watch out to our west. Wednesday, as we look ahead here, we're talking about a snow system arriving. That's why the advisory has been posted. 1 to 3 inches for many folks. Higher to the south, though. Winter storm threat comes into play as we go into Friday. Late Thursday night going into Friday with a mix of snow, winds. I mean, this is going to be a nasty old mess, and then we'll have the snow wrapping up there on Saturday. But by the time it's all said and done, we could be talking about several inches. That's with the next wave. Hour-by-hour forecast reveals that we get up to around 20 degrees for a high today. Clouds start to increase. The reason being, we've got snow coming together. The next system is moving into the area, and you can see it really gets here and along I-75 by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're tracking it. Perfect timing. Nothing in the world going on at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Nothing. Nobody's going anywhere at that point. Snow continues. Heavier to our south, though, as you see, by mid-morning and through the afternoon hours. We're still tracking it with temperatures jumping back up to around freezing, which will actually feel wonderful compared to where we've been. 1 to 3 inches for this snowfall forecast through most of central Kentucky. That includes Lexington and then stretches all the way down toward the London area as well and into the mountains of southeastern Kentucky. This isn't one of those systems where upslope snow is going to be a factor, so you're not seeing higher totals along the higher elevations. And there you see red across the board. That means we have a lot of concern over the next several days with this snow system coming in tomorrow, the cold today, and then the one toward the end of the week. And I did mention there's another one for early next week potentially as well.
Oh, man. Oh,
once it starts, it just keeps coming.
It seems that that's the pattern, you know. I mean, when in pattern, you kind of stay in pattern, you know.
It opens the door. Well, all it takes is one.
Yeah. Jim, thank you. It's 5:14 right now.
All right. In Rhode Island, residents there made one little boy's dream come true.
8-year-old Dorian Murray has a rare type of pediatric cancer, and his dream is to be famous. Dorian said he wanted to be famous specifically in China before he went to heaven. His family took to social media to try and make that happen. They used the hashtag #DStrong. What you see westerly residents spelling out on the beach over the weekend. People from all over the world, including China, have sent Dorian messages of support.
It just breaks your heart.
So he is now famous.
But it's neat that they did that.
It really is. Good to have you along on WKYT, bright and early here on your Tuesday morning, and we hope you'll stay with us.
We have a look at your money.
Robots could soon take millions of human jobs, and the reason farmers can't seem to grow enough kale. I'm Kenneth Craig. I'll have those stories and more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Hey, welcome back in. It is 5:18, bright and early. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday morning. And Puerto Rico is asking to declare bankruptcy. And a new report says that robots could be taking over millions of jobs.
Kenneth Gregg has the latest on your money.
The United States Treasury Secretary will head to Puerto Rico Wednesday to discuss the U.S. territory's public debt crisis. The island is $72 billion in the red. Puerto Rico's governor is asking Congress to change a law that will allow the territory to declare bankruptcy. And U.S. stock markets are back open today after being closed for the holiday. There was another major sell-off Friday sparked by falling oil prices. The Dow dropped 390 points. The Nasdaq lost 126. A new report projects that robots could take over more than 5 million jobs over the next 5 years. The authors say more robots will replace laborers, and there will be an increase in artificial intelligence and automated call centers. The report found office and administrative jobs are most at risk. Kale farmers say they're having a hard time keeping up with the increased demand for the leafy vegetable. Growers say sales are up more than 30%, and some farmers are having a difficult time finding kale seeds to meet the demand. That's your Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Kenneth Craig.
Robots.
And enjoy your kale, right?
Yeah, right. There you go. 5:19 on WKYT this Tuesday morning with so much more coming up for you.
Including a report on sports at next.
Tyler Eulis has provided the only consistency on Kentucky's team this year. Hear what Coach John Calipari had to say about his point guard. And Kentucky football is reportedly losing another assistant coach. We'll have that next in sports.
Tracking a lot of cold out there this morning. Wind chill readings hovering right around 0 in many spots, and then in some cases we're talking about negative numbers also creeping into the area. So extremely cold either way. When you walk outside, you're certainly going to feel it and be prepared for it because we are into that dangerous level. Tracking some snow also across parts of eastern Kentucky, and even some flakes flying here in central Kentucky as well. Some of those causing some issues out there, especially to our east, where some slick spots are trying to set up, because you even notice here breaking out into a little bit more. This is very light stuff though, because think about it. We're 10, 11 degrees outside right now. The air is so cold. The colder it gets, it can't hold a lot of moisture. So when you get some going, if you get flakes to fly, they're going to be very, very small in nature. They're just coming down at some decent rates, so that's causing a few issues out there. So right along Mountain Parkway, stretching basically from parts of Powell County into Wolfe County and beyond, you're tracking some of that snow. Very light in nature, but enough to cause some concerns and some issues out there. This isn't the only time we're going to do this. We're going to track even more snow into the day tomorrow, as we have a winter weather advisory that's basically for everybody across Kentucky. If it's not that, it's a winter storm watch, and just a few counties not included. This one comes at us for tomorrow. A lot of cold and snow in this forecast. But here's sports, and that might warm you up a little bit.
Kentucky's wide receivers coach Chad Scott is leaving Lexington to join Larry Fedora's staff at North Carolina, according to a report by FootballScoop.com. Scott is expected to coach tight ends at UNC. Scott has served as Kentucky's running backs coach for the past 4 seasons on Mark Stoops' staff, but he was moved to receivers coach with the hire of new offensive coordinator Eddie Gran. Meanwhile, Kentucky basketball will look to get its road record back to 500 when the Cats play at Arkansas Thursday night. Tyler Ulis will have to continue to play stellar. Ulis is the only consistent player on John Calipari's team this season. He's been able to put on the floor this season, and against Auburn, the 5'9" guard played all but 1 second, scoring 17 points with 10 rebounds and 8 assists with just 1 turnover. But according to Cal, Ulis feels he has to do more when others are no-show.
It puts him in a bad spot. He has to make plays or take shots that he shouldn't have to take, but he wants a win so bad he does it anyway. Like, he was disappointed in himself. You know, I should have done more. He gets a shot blocked because we can't get anybody to attack the rim, and he grabs it back and makes a basket. He makes a layup late that puts us up to crazy, and then our team doesn't run back for the game winner. Just don't run back.
So it's another road trip for Kentucky. The Cats will have 3 days to prepare for Thursday night's trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Coming off a 2-point loss Saturday night at LSU are the Razorbacks. Well, last night in Cameron Indoor, the Syracuse Orange beat Duke 64-62. Proving there are no elite teams in college basketball this season. The loss for the Blue Devils is the 3rd straight against non-ranked teams. That hasn't happened to a ranked Duke team since 1968. Mike Krzyzewski was not happy with a pair of no calls late in the game. Duke might fall right out of the top 25 for the first time since 2007. And following Duke's loss, top-ranked Oklahoma goes down at 19th-ranked Iowa State, 82-77. The Sooners had just earned the top spot in the polls for the first time since 1990. Oklahoma becomes the 5th #1 ranked team to lose this season, proving it is a wild year in college basketball. I say take all top 25 teams, throw them in a hat, and just pick them out in any order. It is that kind of season. A wild ride in a wild tournament coming up ahead. For now, that'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.